Hello and welcome to Goddess Resurrection. My name is Britta and I am your host, and today's episode is another very special treat. We have my dear, long lasting friend Laura here. I want to read your bio quickly. So, Laura Cassini is a Geneva-based abstract artist known as the chromatic poetess. Through atmospheric, lyrical abstraction, she creates living paintings where light dances, color breathes, and the immaterial becomes tangible. Her signature use of iridescent and metallic pigments transforms every piece of artwork into a sensorial experience that reveals new chromatic secrets with every viewing angle. Laura has exhibited internationally in prestigious venues including the Museum of Art and Science in Milan, Grimaldi Forum in Monaco in presence of Prince Albert II, and the Pankerai Boutique in Geneva. Welcome, Laura. Thank you so much for being here.
Good morning. It's a real pleasure to be here with you and your audience to speak about art and feminine energy. What's the topic?
Yes, exactly. Of course, it's all about the feminine energy. And everybody, by the way, there is a delay because Laura is in Europe, in Geneva. And so we're paying attention to not talking while the other one is talking because we've noticed there's a dip in the volume. Yeah, so look, I'm your biggest fan. You know that.
Since a lot of years, and I can just share that we know each other since almost 15 years. And the first time I did my video on Instagram, it was when I was presenting one of the little painting that Britta had, you have, Britta. And I did the courage to do my first video on Instagram in order that you can see it. Of course, I send you the link after personally, but you was my first my input to show up in Instagram with video and not only with pictures. So thank you. You contributed to my path and to show up and be myself.
By the way, it's very hot in Geneva. That's why you're using a fan.
Yeah, but we expect we are not used to have such 35, 36, 8 degrees. I don't know which out is, but it's normally the temperature that we find in the very hot places, and especially not in Switzerland. And so we cannot find any ventilator or are sold out. So I find back the old feminine way to communicate and I'm discovering the pleasure of the flow of the hair. Because sometimes I'm missing hair here actually with this weather. So I'm so happy to feel the flow and hair moving around me in a manual way.
Yes. I love it. It makes me want to get a fan. I'm like, I gotta get a fan. I love this. It's so feminine.
And, it's pretty sexy as well, sometimes.
Yeah.
It's really not sexy. The feeling of I love the wind. So of course the wind bring me a kind of freedom, and so I cannot not enjoy this flow of air.
Yes. So, feminine energy, right? So, all of this began for you when you opened yourself to the feminine energy. Isn't that right?
Absolutely. And I'm still fascinated to see how the energy is constantly driving my artistic path, and how the only thing that I have to do at that point, 10 years ago, it was just to allow and to see yes to what's presented to me, because I'm really not a manual woman. I don't do any bricolage. I was really, not in the artistic world. And following atelier, of a weekend, I started to be open to the painting. And at the beginning, I used to paint blind, to lose the control, because I was a lot in the masculine and a lot in the control. Even if at this time I don't were aware of that, of course, as a lot of us. And I noticed that when I was blind and I don't see, magic started to happen. And so, well, with the times, I remove the bandage and I look what I'm doing, but I'm discovering, because there is no preconcept, there is no mind visualization. I just start from energy. I choose the colors and I paint on the floor and I let some energy guide me. And at the end, I discover the painting. And even I'm not satisfied in the process, and I cover sometimes, several times the canvas. At the end, the energy, the feminine energy, bring me exactly where I have to be to express fully this energy. And this
Yes.
is a
Yes. And you said it so beautifully. You said that it's really the feminine energy, and you had to control your masculine energy, right? You had to learn to control your perfectionism. And once you did that, your feminine energy really took you into your destiny.
It's true. And to be honest, Britta, with you and your audience, often sometimes the life of the artist, the real life of the artist is not so easy. Even if I don't have to clock to any door and all has been really royally open to me, um, it's to paying has a cost. And sometimes I was giving up. And at this moment, I always receive a pop-up, a reminder from the light. And this appears under form of a message or an email. And people, buyers that has acquired my canvas, thanks me for the power that they see in that specific moment of their life in their painting that they have, and how they can take a decision in their own life, how they life swift, just simply watching one of my painting, and how thankful they are for the energy I put on, and how they can change your daily, not only your daily experience, but also their own destiny. And one especially touched me because she's an author. She chose a painting, Blue Life, as cover of her book. And in a dream, she told me that it has been suggested her to breath blue life. So in the morning, she take her coffee, she look blue life, and she know what she has to do of her life. And this really, it's so grateful and so powerful that I still have a chill on my skin when I tell this story. And it's a big power on that.
Yes, 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 absolutely. And just for everybody to know, I have three pieces of yours in my home. And as it says in the bio, with every view angle, you discover a new secret. With every view angle, you see a new layer, another aspect, and it's so true. And it's not only the angles and the layers and the magic that's in your work. You really channel, right? You channel light, you channel cosmic energy through you, and you place it into the work. And so, yes, that is just one example, right? I think you have a bunch of examples.
A lot, a lot.
Yeah.
Uh, the other one that is funny is a co-worker, a younger woman, for some job. She decided with her first salary to buy one of my digital canvas. His title was Joy. And for 5 years after this acquisition, she sent me a text and say, Laura, Thank you. I was crying every day. I don't know how is going my relationship, my job, the work I'm doing. I don't know where I'm lost. I don't know what to do. I sit down crying in front of your little canvas, and I feel so much joy. You cannot find a better word for that. Thank you. And now she's a mom, and she has this little painting in the room of the baby. So this is another one. There is also another one that really touched me. You were a woman that was very close to her mom. She's passed away in April. In October, come to see my soul exhibition. This canvas that was named Roma immediately attract her, and she became Amor. And what she perceived was the presence of her mom. And what I put in this artwork, I'm coming from Italy as well. For me, Roma, it was the imperium of Roma, so the power of the Roman in the old age. And I work a lot with bronze and silver, but there is a lot of presence in the power of the imperium of Roma. And she perceived the power of the love of her mom. So also this troubled me a lot and gave me a lot of emotion. And these testimonials make me understand how much powerful there is in this creation, and how grateful I am, because I know that I have no merit. I'm only the vehicle. The painting is creating by itself. At the end, I discovered the painting as you did. And one thing that is important, I think, that to understand that is my principal objective is to celebrate the life and its movement. So you mentioned the change of light that is relating to the natural light of the day, but also the movement, because the movement, a lot of one has terrified to the movement, but the movement, the change is so liberatory sometimes and allow us to become who we really are. And I think that this movement, this softness, and sometimes this more powerful and abruptive movement indicated that even in the situation, the more difficult situation, there is a beauty. If we can see behind the 3D, if you can go deeper, see in us and in ourselves, and how magical the movement can be. And I think that people feel this movement of my painting and move something inside them. Yes. I think that my painting is transformative, but transforms also people.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. And I just want to jump back just a second to something you already said, where there were times where you wanted to give up, right? And so to be in that feminine energy, which is it's not just flow, right? It's not just joy. Feminine energy brings in creation vibration. It brings in the cosmic power. It is the essence of our light. And this does not mean that everything is going to be easy. It does not mean that everything is always going to be smooth. It doesn't mean that we're going to have everything handed to us, right? Because this path, this destined path, is still a part of the personal inner healing. Because as we get triggered into the next level, we have to go deeper in order to receive more, right?
Yes. And I think that all is constantly moving externally, but my art represents also a focal point that reconnects to ourselves. There is even the painting that is more agitated, but never sad or depressive, always with the light that is taking over. There is this point. There is a moment where I work a lot with the texture, but there is also a part that is very smoothly soft, and this is like a breath, a pause that my art is giving is gifting to me and to the external people observator, because really there is this dance between the breath, the internal feeling, sensation, and the external that can be represented by the texture. And in front, my art is not to be consumed fast. It's an invitation to breath, to observe, and to feel inside. Is the most important is to feel inside.
Yes, 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 yes. Oh my gosh, it's so beautiful. It's so true. And you said it many, many, many years ago, and I've never forgotten it. You said that color is emotion. Color is emotion, and it's so true. And of course, it's objective, right? We all look at a piece of work and we feel different things, and everybody sees and experiences and perceives from their own inner landscape, right? So when I sit on my couch and I look at the piece that's right here in my living room, it brings forth so much power, so much light. I mean, I can literally just sit there and let myself be connected
Yes.
into my light. And we all know that high priestesses, witches, light and dark, all the ones with powers, especially in the older days, we would place powers into objects, right? People would place powers into stones, into mirrors, into carafes, and even hold or rings. Yes, yes, absolutely. And so this is nothing new. We've just forgotten how we can actually place light and intention and frequency into what we are creating.
And it's reconnected to ourselves and also move with us through the season, the day. It's a constant change as well, changing as a human every day, every hour. But this object, the art of a vase or nothing, or a mug, everything is important that has a meaning for us. Let's remember what we like, what is give us a kind of energy or vibes. And it's very important to be surrounded not only by positive people, but also by positive objects.
Yes, yes, absolutely. And I think that this is also a wonderful invitation for everybody joining us here to remember to be intentional. Be intentional. Not that you need to be creating art, but whether it is an email or a work meeting or a conversation with a loved one, right? To stay in that highest alignment, in that intention, to bring the purest light power into whatever it is that we are wanting to manifest.
It's change. They really make the difference.
Yes.
How people perceive us and how powerful we feel when we are surrounded by object and stuff as a meanings. And
Yes.
it is energy because the object has their own energy. They are there. There is some rings that I wear that immediately give me a kind of power of confidence or whatever sensuality, and this contribute to my own energy. And this is very, very important. This is where the magic happens for me. This is a kind of magic in the energy.
Yes. And I am jumping back to the beginning, but it just dropped in, so I have to. I love how you said in the beginning how you had to take your masculine energy out of the way in order to be able to surrender more and more fully. And you painted with a blindfold on so that you could learn to trust, so you could learn to be in your feminine energy, so you could learn to feel that flow.
It's a question of flow.
Yes.
That we perceive it's for me is when I am in the flow, I am really outside the time, outside of the place, and I full connection with the nature, especially. I'm full connection, in full immersion. And also in my art, there is a lot of element. There is the water, the clouds, the wind. Some of these paintings really reflect the nature and this flow and this kind of communion. We goddess, we are part of all this world, of the abyss, of the sky, of the ocean. And it's important to remember.
Mhm. Yes, 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 yes. So beautiful, so beautiful. Well, would you show us some of your pieces that you've selected for today?
Yes, yes, of course. There is this one. This is the one that is very powerful is Aphrodite.
Mhm.
So I use feminine pigments. Of course, they are all iridescents. There is some glitter, some gold pigment, pearl white that we can perceive sometimes. There is very kind of turquoise, green, and especially um, pink. There is another that is very moving with the camera. There is the golden, the silver, and of course here there is the water, a little bit of texture, the waves, and then there is the flow of the water. I don't know the flow of the water, and it's changed. It become very dark and very light, depending is of the positioning of the light, of course. I'm sorry, the presentation wasn't very perfect, but I hope to give you some glimpse, some instant of idea of what I'm painting. And I remember that I created 1 month ago a YouTube channel when I post especially short in order to offer some suspended moments in the daily light where we can, there is no music, no speak, just some second of full immersion in the color, in the texture, in the feminine. And this is what one of the scope I created. It is a YouTube account, so you can see if you are interested some little drops of my paintings that I hope will reconnect with the feminine.
Yes, yes, yes. And what is your YouTube channel? What's your handle?
It's Laura Casini, Chromatic Poetess.
Okay, great. I will make sure I'll add that as a text on the video as well. So those are so stunning, and I mean the blue one, it's like the ocean. It's like the depth of the ocean, like how it is like from this deep blue it turns into this powerful green.
It's really very alive, and there is all the editions are kind of blue and turquoise, and really it come in the night. I love my art in the night when the editions are coming up, and it's very dark, and we can see a light. Or also in Nefertiti, you can see really a big palette, very sophisticated but so feminine. And Britta, at the beginning, we speak a little bit together. I would like you speak about the inner union that I perceive recently in this painting because your English would be more understandable than mine for this. But I wanted to share with you because for me, the feminine is also the use of the masculine. The use of the masculine is support and the fact that women we have to say yes thank you and being happy to receive it's a reminder that for me is important, and it was something that I perceive in this painting someday early. So if you can maybe explain better than me this union.
Yes, yes, yes. Before I do though, I have to just say, like, I want every single one of those paintings. Like,
You should have for sure. When we want, we just find a way, and really, maybe you have to choose one of them at the beginning.
you know, I want Aphrodite, but now seeing the ocean,
Yes,
I am taken by the ocean because to me the ocean is everything. Everything.
life is currents of life.
Wow, 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 wow. Now, let's go ahead and let's talk about Aphrodite, right? Because what you just said is very much the truth, and I think it's also because it's one of your most recent pieces, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Because you've been evolving in your light embodiment, you have been evolving in your channeling, and therefore your pieces are evolving. And so with Aphrodite, what you said, the masculine is the serving energy, right? We, from within our feminine energy, we direct our masculine energy because the masculine energy is what puts it into action. And so when you were working on Aphrodite, you channeled the sacred, the divine union, right, of the masculine and feminine, and it turned into a divine union piece where on that, on in the middle there, on the left side, that's the masculine, and in the middle on the right side, that's the feminine side, right? And it's really exactly the way you said, that we have to learn to control our masculine energy. We as goddesses, as women, we must understand that the masculine energy does not run the show, right? That is old paradigm. That is us being off the illusion. The key is to be in the feminine energy and then to choose the thoughts, to choose to direct the action, to direct that masculine energy within, to then manifest it into this earth realm, but never by itself. It is always from the light, from the cosmic energy, from the higher self guidance. And this is what takes us into our destiny. This is what takes us onto our destined path, right? Because we can only be on our destined path when we are in that receiving.
And in the alignment, I maybe sometimes I'm still a little bit in the masculine. And it's very important to remember the importance to be the receiver. The receiver, I mean, from the life, because I think that also when we want something, when we have a dream, when we can imagine, immediately we become a manifestator, because we manifest with the feeling, with the sensation, like if it was already there, and then the light provide us. We have to receive, by the way. We cannot stop due to our fear or our doubt, our masculine projection. It's important to be a receiver.
Yes, 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 absolutely, absolutely. And this is really also what New Earth is, right? This is what the elevated, ascended form of living is. It's a soul guided manifestation. It's for us to be always in our alignment, in our light guidance. And from there, trust that, follow that, allow it, surrender to the path. And this path is always the highest timeline. This path is always the highest destiny. This path is always taking us into the highest fulfillment of what we have come here to complete.
And I'm the first one to be surprised of what happens to me. And also, I will just to add to that the sometimes it's important for us women to slow down. For me, the slow down is really becoming a mantra, and also, as you say, I think in one of your latest Instagram reel, I remember that you wanted to with purpose slow down. And we have the tendency in our life to go fast, to be, this is a kind of masculine, by the way. And we have to just to slow down and to breathe in the moment, to welcome the moment, because it's there that everything happens. And when we are in the moment, we are open to ourselves, and we know immediately what's good or not if we listen the contraction of the belly, for example, or other kind of manifestation that everyone has in a different way. But the slowdown is, for me, is becoming an essential part of my life.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes, yes, yes. For me as well. For me as well. I make it my giving to myself. I make it my offering to my goddess to take time to just be, to just flow, to just feel. And it always brings in another opening, another expansion. And the more that we're slowing down, and I think everybody is noticing, especially anybody and everybody who's on this channel, we're noticing that we are transforming very quickly now, right? I feel like I am up leveling almost daily now.
Is going faster. Also, the energy is going faster. And this is the kind of fastness that is interesting, that is lovely. But again, we have to be aware and conscious, and remember to also to ask for what we want to arrive in our life, and what we want to experience, to live. And for that, I'm constantly in a grateful mode and in the celebration of the life. Because really, for me, there is nothing more captivating than the clouds or waves, something that is passing. Because all is passing. So if we are happy, we have to enjoy, like fully enjoy this happiness. And if it's gone, okay, what's next? And remember that there is always good, the surprises of the life, wonders. And so not to take all the drama, all the negative, all the change, the movement is beautiful. When we see change clouds, there is nothing, no spectacle more beautiful. So we have to see and to be grateful of all these kind of, also in the stillness, there is movements inside.
Yes, yes, absolutely. And I do feel guided to say this one more time. We've already touched on it, but it's just so very, very important. We spoke. I was there with you in moments where you wanted to give up, and it is in those moments of the masculine and the ego and the old energies from other lifetimes. Maybe it's the doubt, maybe it's the fear, maybe it's the I can't do it, I don't know if this is really real anymore, I want to give up, right? This is a huge energy that keeps coming up for people now, because we're needing to purge these energies, because we're needing to go deeper. And whether it's financial, whether it's with love, whether it's with health, whether it's with family, whether it's with relationship or success, we all need to go into those dips. We have to go into these dips where we feel the pain, where we feel these blocks almost, right? That we have to break through. We have to breathe and feel, never think, breathe and feel, so we can clear through these layers and release and purge these layers of energy. And then we will always be taken to the next level, and we embody more light, and we get greater awareness and inspiration coming in.
And oftentimes, so when, for my personal experience, when I'm sharing with you, and we work and we analyze this doubt, this, we analyze is not a good terms, by the way, you understand. After there is this inner shift that is so powerful, that is so evident, that all the doubt that was there was just with no sense, And this is the beauty, because we are clearing without effort. We are clearing, receiving.
Yes, yes, yes. So well said, so well said. And that's also such a great point, because those moments seem so real. when there is the doubt, where is the density, right? It just wants to take us over, but that's the illusion. It's the illusion. And to not believe it in those moments, to not think into it, but to then remember who you really are, to remember who we really are as these beautiful eternal extensions of Source, here to clear and release the illusion so we can truly ascend and embody all of that we've come here to be. And it happens faster and faster and faster, right? As you said so perfectly, the more that you do it, the more of a daily practice it becomes.
Yes, it becomes really an habit. Sometimes you have to post some post-it, sometimes we have to remember. I personally remember a lot with the rings or my art. And also, the rings because remember me, my own energy.
Mm-hmm.
And the art because it's moving with me. Mm-hmm. So sometimes in the silence, in the light changing, the painting speak to me, tell me something without words, but there is yes, it's that. And so we live in the magic and celebrating the light.
Yeah. Laura, we're already over time.
Is flowing.
It's fast. It's fast. I would love to stay here with you forever. This was so wonderful. But before we say goodbye, would you please let everybody know how to find you, where to find you?
Actually, I'm more active. My favorite platform is YouTube. I maintain Instagram, of course, especially for the announcement of exhibition or some recent paintings, something like that. But the most video and will be on the YouTube now and not anymore in Instagram. And I'm also present in LinkedIn with Laura Casini, Chromatic Poetess. And in Instagram, the Life Force Painter.
The Life Force Painter. And on YouTube, how can people get a hold of you? How can people reach out to you?
They can contact me by email, contact at .chromatic poetess. And for your audience, Britta, I will be honored to have a discount of 5% of all my painting for 1 month with your name, Britta.
Yes. Oh, great. Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. Yes. So if you're interested, reach out, use my name, Britta, and Laura will connect with you and even give you a discount if you feel called to bring some of this light into your home. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for being here. And I am so grateful for you and the channel that you are and the light that you're bringing to this planet. I am so grateful for how you are assisting humanity by placing this light into their homes. And I am just so honored to know you. Thank you so much.
You're part of this path, Britta. Thank you so much for this time shared together. And I hope that my English will be understandable. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yes, 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 of course. You're so welcome. Your English is perfect, perfect. And as always, everybody, thank you so much. Please let me know in the comments. Let me know how you felt about some of the work that Laura shared, if you could feel it as well. And as always, I'll see you next week. And I am sending love and light blessings to you and yours. Hugs and kisses. Ciao for now.